Super Random Japan. Nani?
In 2005, in the heart of Nerd Central Japan, Akihabara, Yasushi Akimoto held auditions for a new theater-based idol group with the idea of idols you can meet. After a couple auditions, they had their ultimate weapon for the Japanese music industry, AKB48. The AKB short for Akiba, the nickname of Akihabara, and the 48 stood for the office number of the group's president. However, most people assume, and rightfully so, that 48 stands for 48 members, because that's practically how many they have. Yeah, and this isn't a case of having different vocal ranges like a choir. In fact, it's even better that they all sound alike, so you simply sell their look for the most part. And that part about being able to meet them, it led idols to discover what the industry executives already knew, that most of their fans aren't just lonely otaku boys, but lonely otaku men. However, that doesn't matter to the bigwigs. It's the adult men who earn enough and are willing to spend a fortune on their commercial property. And you see where this is going. Just hold on to your horses, I'm almost done with the history stuff. The reason AKB48 cracked the mold with its process is that it perfected the processes previous groups started, with subdivisions of groups, or teams in their case, as well as holding public auditions for spots in the group. They also hold graduations, but took it a step further with rankings. Each year, the entire nation tunes in as old members graduate, new ones debut, and existing members' ranks change. Plus, they hold regular events based around meeting the fans, from handshaking events to photo sessions, etc. If you want a good example of what idol life is like, I suggest playing Yakuza, aka Ryu ga Gotoku 5, a series you'll constantly hear me talk about. I'm playing the newest one, by the way, Gaiden, the man who erased his name, but unlike other YouTubers, I don't have time to speedrun and review it, so it'll be a while before I make a review on that video. Anyway, in Yakuza 5, the only playable female character in that game happens to be 16 years old and grinds through what it takes to become a national idol. Because when Japan adds a female to a semi-realistic game, of course the only logical storyline is becoming an idol. Anyway, it involves interviews, the aforementioned meet and greet events, of course live performances, and loads of dance and song practice. In the end, you compete in local, then regional, then national competitions in order to become the top-ranked idol. Their lives are also tightly controlled, from their personal relationships to their free time. In fact, they have almost no free time at all because managers control their lives and keep them from personal relationships. After all, part of their selling factor is that they're portrayed as pure, and the fans see themselves as surrogate boyfriends, and so it'd damage profits if they saw their quote-unquote girlfriend with another man. And for anyone who sees themselves as surrogate fathers, brothers, etc., yes, that is a thing, they'd be equally cautious knowing their surrogate sister or child is dating someone they know little about. Anyway, this is essentially what idol life has been like for almost 20 years now, and it isn't slowing down. There are currently over 10,000 teenage idols in Japan and over 3,000 groups. They're calling it the Idol Sengoku period, a reference to the famous period in Japan in which the entire country was warring with each other in small factions. The battle for idol stardom has also created subgenres of idols. There's the AV idol, or adult video, they're essentially porn stars. Band dolls, idols who play instruments. Gravure idols, basically glamour and bikini models. Idol voice actors, mostly in anime. Japanese Korean idols, also known as Nikkan idols. Johnny's, the company from the 60s I mentioned before that specializes in male idols. There's other male idols and boy bands, but most work for Johnny's. Local idols, like literally the Girl Next Door theme. Net idols, who are basically like influencers but fit the cutesy idol look and sing and dance but online. Virtual idols, which are just digital avatars that interact with people. Underground idols, essentially no-name idols you can brag that you discovered first. And finally, we have junior idols. Idols under the age of 18, once called chaidoru, a combination of the words child and idol. The name changed once the industry execs decided they needed to capitalize on the idol term and consider it a serious category of idol. And here's where we get to the dark side of things, as you've most likely imagined.